Mad in the Middle East. Americans may have voted in the last presidential election for an end to war, but wars have multiplied with the advent of the Obama administration. As I wrote several years ago, the awesome powers granted to the Bush administration now lie in new hands, and presidents aggregate power. They don't willingly give it up. Perhaps first among these powers is the power to wage wars. As of this writing, the United States is engaged in at least 4 and maybe 5 armed actions: Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and Yemen. And as drones slam bombs into homes and villages in Pakistan, it too must be added to the mix. To be realistic, there is no peace on the horizon, and perhaps more and broader war. Despite the many justifications raised by politicians, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, terrorism, these seem more pretexts than reasons. For without the CIA, MI6, and Pakistan's intelligence agency ISI, these bodies wouldn't exist, for they were assembled, trained, armed, and activated under their auspices. They are Western creations, period. If you doubt this, read Crossing Zero, The AFPAC War at the Turning Point of American Empire by Elizabeth Gould and Paul Fitzgerald, published this year by City Lights. But war does far more than excite public passions. It confuses people. It demands their unthinking allegiance. It feeds on the very lives of young men and women. And those it doesn't kill, it poisons with a virus of violence, which, unleashed abroad, often returns home to shatter homes, families, and communities. It would be challenging to count the wives or children who were beaten or abused by returning soldiers. Indeed, the levels of suicide among armed forces shows us that war attacks the self. The clearest explanation for these wars was articulated several years ago by President Carter's former National Security Advisor, Zbigniew Brzezinski, and the prime architect of the Afghan war against the Soviets by the Mujahideen. In a 1997 article in Foreign Affairs magazine, Brzezinski gave the following take on the importance of Eurasia. Eurasia is home to most of the world's politically assertive and dynamic states. All the historical pretenders to global power originated in Eurasia. The world's most populous aspirants to regional hegemony, China and India, are in Eurasia, as are all the potential political or economic challengers to American primacy. After the United States, the next 6 largest economies and military spenders are there, as are all but one of the world's overt nuclear powers. Eurasia accounts for 75% of the world's population, 60% of its GNP, and 75% of its energy resources. That's it. Energy resources. Oil. That's what it's all about. That's all it's ever been about. From Death Row, this is Mumia Abu Jamal.
These commentaries are recorded by Noel Hanrahan of Prison Radio.